Okay, what's going on, everybody? Who we wanting to fix back again with the Overrated Podcast, episode 90. I am Who We 186, and with me today is Traditionalist 101.
Man, I cannot believe we are in the 90th episode. Wow, that's amazing. I'm glad that we are still here. We're still going strong. This is the Traditionalist 101. We have to hold on to tradition, ladies and gentlemen. But
Yeah,
yeah, I'm impressed. Like I cannot believe we're still standing strong. And wow, 90, just 10 more episodes to go. You reached 100. Awesome.
yeah, yeah. Like, it's been what, a year and so since we started the podcast, and honestly, it's been good. I mean, there have been days where I just feel you feel tired. Sometimes you don't really feel like talking, but once everything gets rolling, then you feel energized, and that's always a good thing.
When you say tired, you mean both physically or mentally, or you just mean mentally?
Both,
Oh,
both.
okay.
I mean, like sometimes, obviously physically, like I said, I work all weekend, and depending on how busy it is, it can really drain you. Plus, anytime you have any issues with family or friends or whatever, or just random people, you know, that can get on you. But more often than not, the podcast has always been a good part of my week.
Even though it's just only once, but yeah, I'll still give it to you, even though you only want to do one podcast per week, which is cool.
Mhm.
It's fine.
Yeah. So yeah. So what you do this weekend?
So pretty much all I did was um, all I pretty much did was just relaxed, and I got some. Well, they're right next to me, so I might as well. I got quite a few comics. So I got the Batman detective comic, and I mean, Grimm is just phenomenal. Like the story of behind Grimm is fantastic.
So
I'm a Gargoyles fan, so I'm gonna get that.
what
You
the
know,
hell is
huh? Go ahead.
Grim?
Um, well, I would let's start at the beginning of it. Like pretty much,
I mean, I don't
it,
need I don't need like I just need to know what the concept is.
well, okay, so pretty much, there was this guy who had died in the right in the beginning of the story. Like he died, and the girl that you saw on the front cover, she's pretty much like a ripper. where
Hmm.
she gathers up all the souls and takes them all to Judgment Day. And what was so funny was that the guy, he didn't want to get judged, so that he took off, and then like he took off, he sees his dead body. So it's a very 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 good story. And close to the end of the story, he takes her staff, so he was able to go back to the living, because obviously he was in the dead, but now he went back to where the living was, the living realm, but no one was able to see him or communicate with him because he was just a spirit.
Hmm.
So it's a very good story. I'm enjoying each and every one of it. So I like it a lot. I like it a lot.
Okay.
So, but we got a few more, and I also picked up Power Rangers, and I also picked up um Gambit and Rogue. So that one, I read the first one because obviously this one just started. As you can see, the number two issue on the left.
Hmm.
It just started, and I read the first one. It was okay. Remy, aka Gambit, I wasn't really feeling him too much. It seemed like they just made him lame in this book. But I'm gonna give it a chance,
You
even
can't
though I
be
even
no lamer than I forgot which Wolverine movie it was. I think it was the first one that he was featured in by himself. I don't know what it's called, but the guy who played Gambit in that movie was fucking awful,
that.
fucking awful. And Gambit is my favorite X Men.
But frankly, he's like really one of the most popular ones, when it comes to X Men, with the exception of Wolverine, obviously. And the Gambit is extremely popular. I don't know why they don't have him. He doesn't have his own movie yet. I remember they were supposed to have a movie based off of Gambit, but I never knew what happened to it afterwards.
Well, I mean, if it was gonna be the same guy who did that Wolverine movie, I would say no way. I would say no.
Why? Because you care about the source material?
No, not about that. It's just that I don't know. That movie was not good, bro. I did not like that Wolverine movie.
Yeah.
No,
And
all the Wolverine movies that they did outside of probably Logan are not good.
yeah, the first one, I started liking it. I started to enjoy the movie like in the beginning, but like towards the end, it started to get really stupid to me. I would have to rewatch it, but I don't think I'm going to do that.
No, I'm good.
But yeah, it wasn't. So I got and these two also. I don't know if you can see it. You can pull up the screen again like you did before. So the action comic, which is Superman, and Superman over here, and this story right here, Torrent. This one is actually really good. So pretty much, this is a story about this chick that you see here. She pretty much lost her husband. Like they killed her husband, and now she's pretty much trying to get revenge. And the way they found out about her secret identity, because somebody snitched. I don't want to I don't want to go too much in detail of it, but man, it was just brutal seeing how her family had died. It's some people will say it's pretty much like a copy and paste,
Of the
because
Punisher.
it's similar to I guess they'll say it's similar to what happened with Punisher.
Yeah.
When they killed his whole entire family. So this one, they pretty much killed her husband, and it was very very sad. Like the very beginning of the book, like the very first book, like they killed her. But I'm actually looking forward to see what she's going to do afterwards. So
Okay.
yeah, so pretty much I pretty much got the comics, Ninja Turtles. So what I'm going to be doing for the rest of this week is pretty much just do some more studying time, read some of these comics. I still have a whole bunch of comics that I had to catch up on, and I don't think I'm ever going to catch up. But I think I'm confident that I will be able to at least catch up somewhat now that I'm still off from my second job. So now that opens up opportunities for me to catch up on some stuff. You know what I mean?
Okay. Me, I did work this weekend, but I mean, this been a crazy week when it comes to playoff games. Down here. First thing first, the Florida Panthers. Let me give them a huge shout out. The
Yeah.
Florida Panthers completed one of the biggest upsets in the history of sports. Now, for those of you who don't follow hockey, let me try to educate you guys real quick, right? The Boston Bruins, right? They had the when you win, you get 2 points for a win, and you get 1 point for going to overtime, right? Now, at the end of 82 games, like just like in the NBA, 82 games, you accumulate a set amount of points, right? So they won 65 games during the regular season.
Yeah.
So that accumulates to, I believe, 135 points the whole year. That's the most of any team in the history of the sport. To put it into context, that team, that Boston Bruins team that the Panthers just beat, they are similar to the 2016 Warriors, who won, how many games did they win? 73 games.
Hmm.
They are similar to the 2000. Damn, I'm bad with years. The year when the Patriots went undefeated, but lost in the Super
Okay.
Bowl. Yeah, right. They were a record-setting team, and they were up on us 3-1.
Yeah.
Up on us 3-1. So we won. We won Game 5. We win Game 6. A crazy game. We won 7-5. Game 6. Right. It was crazy game. And then last night. And mind you, we scored. We were up 2-0. Right, they scored late in the second period. Because NHL they have 3 periods. They
Yeah.
scored late in the second period, so it's 2-1. They come back third period. They scored twice on us, so they're up 3-2. And with 1 minute left, and what they do in hockey is when it gets desperate, when they need a goal, what they will do is they'll take the goalie,
Hmm.
take him out of the game, and add an extra skater. Because in NHL it's 5-on-5, right? It's 5-on-5. If you get a penalty, and the player who gets the penalty, that he goes into the penalty box, and then they have what's called the power play, where the team with five, obviously, you're pretty much playing with one man down for 2 minutes, or depending on how much the time is, right? 2 minutes, 4 minutes, whatever, right? Now, when you pull the goalie, you can bring an extra skater, so it's 6-on-5,
Yeah.
6-on-5, but they have no goalie. It's 6-on-5. The Panthers had 6 players. Boston had 5, and with 1 minute left, they score a goal to put it. And pretty much the clock winds down. They go to overtime. Now, sudden death overtime. No, like you score, you win. Halfway through overtime, they get the puck, they score, and they completed the greatest comeback, the greatest upset in the history of the sport.
Wow. The greatest upset of the history of the sport.
Yes,
Okay.
and
That's
and unlike even though the NBA this year has been crazy, normally in basketball you rarely see an AC beat a 1 seed. Very rarely. It's not as rare in hockey because home ice advantage is not a thing. It's just not a thing. Either you're good or you're not. You know what I'm saying?
home court is not as prevalent as like if it's in the NBA or in the
Yeah.
NFL.
Yeah. Pretty much it pretty much doesn't matter. The main ingredient for success in the playoffs is having a very good goaltender. If your
Oh, okay.
goaltender, if your goaltender is playing well, you always have a chance. Now, obviously, you have some teams who are more talented than others, but as long as you have a good goaltender, you have a chance. And
Hmm.
they they pulled it off, man. It was great. And then earlier in the day, Miami. And I mean, you have anything else you want to talk about before we start the podcast?
No, I was watching the game also, and I was highly impressed of how the atmosphere was.
Mhm.
Like the crowd was just phenomenal. Just hearing them alone, made you want to know exactly what was going on, even if you're just a casual or someone who doesn't
Yeah,
even watch the sport in
yeah,
general?
because the game was in Boston, so they obviously they were hyped. They were scared, you know what I mean, because they have a record-setting team that was pretty much on the verge of losing.
Hmm.
But if you think crowds are crazy, look at Game 6. That game was in Florida. Ruben, what's going on, bro? How you doing?
What's up, Ruben? The first one to join us.
Mhm.
Appreciate you, bro. How's it going?
Let me change this. Yeah, but game 6. Um, and that was the one that was in Florida. The crowd in that game was crazy,
Right.
absolutely crazy. So props to them. So I mean, so we're good, right? We can talk about the playoffs now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Of course.
Yeah. So let me put the share thing on. Yeah, as we go along, we're now officially in the second round. Um, I know that the Boston and Philadelphia are going to be playing soon. So, okay, hold on. Let me see if this thing updated. Oh, this thing hasn't updated yet. Let me refresh this thing. Okay, so yeah, so Miami earlier in the day, Miami went to New York and won game 1. Now I had to go somewhere, so I wasn't able to watch it, but I was listening to the radio, and
Go ahead. Hmm. I wonder if that's me or that's
all the
Ruben.
way around for game. I do think he'll play game 2. I don't know if Jimmy Butler is going to play. So,
Why don't you think Jimmy
he
Butler's
did
gonna
get
play?
hurt. He got hurt.
Yeah, because I know he twist. I know he twisted his ankle, but
Mhm.
he's still man. I have to give him props for still sticking it out like that.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
he pretty much decided to be a spot up shooter after he twisted his ankle, though.
yeah,
That's all he pretty much
yeah.
wanted to do. And I am also very worried. And look, I also understand that Randall is injured, and people are gonna say, oh well, this Miami's only gonna win because of that, blah 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 blah. Like at the end of the day, they're still without Tyler Hero.
Mhm.
They're still without him, and they also have the potential of losing, Jimmy Butler. So I don't really want to hear any excuses. And even if Jimmy Butler, does end up playing, you could tell that he's not going to be 100%, not even close.
That's the thing. That's why I'm wondering if you're Miami, what do you do? Because if you don't play him, game 2, right? You just send him to Miami and get healed up. Game 3 is not till Saturday. It's not till Saturday, so they'll have 4 days off for him to heal. Now I thought,
Question.
hmm,
Oh, my bad. Go ahead. Go ahead.
okay, yeah, yeah. Then I'll let you. I thought the rest would help Joel Embiid, but he's not. He's out. He's out for today's game. And they were
Yeah,
they
they didn't they have like what 8 day rest?
yeah, they were the first team to advance to the second round. They're the first team to advance, but that didn't help.
No, like not even close. Like they say he's completely out, and isn't he still questionable for game 2 also?
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. You know what it is? Him doing all that falling, all that flopping.
That wasn't the reason.
I guarantee you that had something to do with it. The dude that big always falling on that floor. I'm sure that had something to do with it.
No, I think you're that. I think that's a stretch. That's a stretch. I don't necessarily believe that was the reason why he's been um dealing with injuries. I don't think the flopping had anything to do with it. Like who gets hurt over flopping? I highly doubt it.
Yeah. No, bro. Like okay. But regardless of that, back to Jimmy in Miami.
Hmm.
I think they're winning the series, but I do want him to be healthy. So If you have to go at it without him in game two, then it's fine. I think I can deal with it.
I mean, I see what you're saying, but you're already out with Victor and Tyler. I don't think being out with three guys who could score the basketball is a wise decision to me.
Yeah, but
I don't think so.
I I fear that if we play him and he re-injures the ankle and make it even worse, then we're gonna be without him for the rest of the series. And I don't think they can beat. They can't. I don't think they can beat New York without Jimmy Butler.
But then who's going to be your go-to guy? I don't think
It has to be Bam.
I the guy only scored 16 points first
Yeah,
game.
yeah. I mean, but he didn't play. I don't think he played poorly. But it's gonna have to be Bam. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like that's to me. I think they rest him game two. Let him get some rest for game three.
I think it has to be either Kyle Lowry or Love.
I mean, they're both gonna have to play good big games. But those aren't. You can't. I don't think you can depend on those guys for a series like that. The guy who has to do that is Bam.
Well, I think Kevin Love and Kyle Lowry could have at least two really good games to
Yeah,
help
yeah,
Miami win.
that, that yeah that is necessary if Jimmy's out. That's necessary. But the guy who has to be your best player it has to be Bam.
Yeah,
He has to be Bam. So yeah, I mean we'll see what happens. Game two tomorrow. So we'll see what happens there. Let me
yeah,
see.
and this with with I think I'm going to predict that at least on the Knicks side. Um, I know Brunson he's going to have a really good game, but you know something, I have a feeling you're gonna laugh, but I think RJ Barrett is going to have a good series.
Yeah,
I think
he had a good game one. He had a good
yeah,
game. One,
yeah,
so
yeah. He had 26 points, and I think he had like what 9 rebounds. I think like 8 or 7 assists, so almost a triple double. So he produced really good numbers, and this is what I expected from him day one since he got drafted. Now I'm not saying that just because he was top three that I expected him to have the numbers like like a Zion or Jean Morant, but I expected him to at the very least be close to an all star, in my opinion. That's what I wanted him to be, and to see him, score like this. This is what I've been waiting for. Now I'm not saying that he's like he's going to be a superstar in the making, nothing like that. I'm not saying that, but when you're a top three pick, I expect you to do more. I expect you to do more, and hopefully he will be do that. He will be able to do that, and we will be able to get a really good series. But I think with all the injuries that's been going on, I think the Heat's going to win in 7 games. I don't think they could win in 6. I think it's going to be 7 games
I mean, as
because
long
look, you're out 3 guys now. It really makes no sense for the Knicks not to be able to capitalize after missing 3 guys.
all right,
That's if Jimmy Butler doesn't partake in the next game. That's all. That's what I'm trying to say.
all good. Sorry we couldn't meet up. Been so busy last week. And then yeah, it's good, bro. Like gotta take care of business.
Yeah, you take care of business, Ruben. We already appreciate you supporting us, consistently, man. So you're always one of the bros, bro. Thanks.
At the end of the day, this is David talking. It's the same old Knicks. I wouldn't be surprised if they got swept because it's the Knicks. No, no, no. You guys are not gonna get swept.
No, I
I mean,
don't think you guys. I don't think so. Because you guys have you guys have a decent squad. You have a decent squad, and with if everybody else could at least be consistent with their play, produce good numbers, then yeah, I think it's going to be a decent series. I just wish everybody was healthy. It would have been more exciting, but we'll see what happens.
all right. So like we said, bring the playoff stuff back up. Yeah. So Boston and Philadelphia are gonna be playing tonight. Actually, is the game started yet?
I have no idea. I should probably turn the TV on and see. But yeah, I'm not really sure. But I think, yeah, I think they started at 7:30, either 7:30 or 8. Oh, they're starting right now.
Okay.
Yeah, they're actually playing right now. So and okay, so Boston is leading, I think, like by 8 right now.
Yeah, look, I said I picked Philadelphia to win the series. Now, obviously, that's gone out the window if Embiid can't play, so they can't win this series without Embiid.
I agree.
So
It's
that's,
it's it's not happening. Even if James Harden becomes the James Harden from when he was in Houston, I don't think that's going to be
well, I
enough.
mean, that's the only way they're gonna beat him if he does that. And honestly, I don't think he can do that.
No,
Can't be that guy. So
no.
yeah. So like I said, the game's starting right now. So well, obviously we'll keep track of it as the podcast moves on. Denver and Phoenix. Denver kicked Phoenix's ass in game one.
Um,
And I thought Phoenix would win in seven, and I still
seven.
yeah I still feel that way. But I mean, it wouldn't definitely wouldn't surprise me if Denver won this series.
Let me think. I forgot who I chose. I completely forgot who I chose. But the thing is with Phoenix, I don't think, to me, they just don't have a bench. Like they don't really have
And they
out,
have no
outs outside of Kevin Durant and Booker. I mean, and Chris Paul, he's gonna do his thing. But after that, like who can you depend on consistently to help you win this series? Like I don't see anybody else.
yeah
I don't see anybody else. Like Denver is fully loaded.
yeah they are they have a full fledged team right there, and they've really been playing together this whole year.
Yeah, they've been playing together, and you have Murray. Who's he looks that dude looks completely healthy.
Yeah,
That dude looks healthy, and Gordon, he had like 20 something points, in that game, so he played really good. And the thing, what I also appreciate about this Denver team, although that Joker is the best player, like he really reminds me of Tim Duncan to a degree. I don't know if he does to you, but he really do remind me of Tim Duncan, a guy who could dominate, but a lot of people will claim that he's boring to watch. He's not entertaining to watch, and he's a team player. He could dominate the game if he wants to, but you could tell that he really cares a lot about his teammates, and he gets good numbers. I think he had like almost 20 rebounds. I think. So I really appreciate a guy like him because he could pretty much do anything in the court for a big guy. You know what I'm saying? So kudos to him. And bro, and I'm gonna say this, and I know you're gonna disagree with me probably, but like in the last series, in this series, Booker has been the best player in the Phoenix. It hasn't been
yeah,
KD.
yeah. I agree with that. I agree with that. He's been
I
the
don't
best. I would say he's been the third best player in the playoffs.
the third best player in the from East and West.
Mhm.
Mm, I don't know. I think Steph, Joker, and Embiid. I mean,
I'm,
I mean,
yeah, I'm talking
I'm.
about like a performance so far.
So you put him ahead of Jimmy Butler too? Then
Oh no, Jimmy Butler to me is number one.
who's number two?
That's Steph Curry.
So Murray's better than Joker.
No. Dude, I'm talking about
Th-
Booker. You asked me about Booker. Booker three, in my opinion.
Yeah, yeah. So he's better than Jokic.
Yeah, I'll put Joker like five.
Oh, okay. Then I mean that's surprising, but okay, okay. That's
Yeah.
a surprise.
So yeah. So I think game two of that series should be tonight, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's tonight. Yeah, it's tonight. All right. So the series that's going to get the most attention, in my opinion, is LA versus Golden State. Now let's talk about LA first, right? They took care of business. They beat the um they beat the Memphis Grizzlies.
Yeah, the Grizzlies.
And oh, what was this? No, I'm fine in the West. John Morant. If he's worried about facing teams in the Western Conference. Hmm. And then you add this, the stuff that he went through this year. Dylan Brooks, who got fined for not talking to the media. I know he was he at I know he was at a press conference, but he did get fined for not talking to the media after he talked shit and then ran away like a little baby. Uh, and here's my thoughts on Memphis. Right, I still think the future is bright for them. You know, like again, not having Adams and Clark was a big loss for them. You can't overstate that because other than that, they're a very deep team.
Hmm.
But this is a cautionary tale. And I didn't mind them talking. I didn't mind them, being cocky and being arrogant. I don't mind that.
Okay.
But when you go too far, when you say the thing that you say and you don't back it up, people are gonna hold that against you.
Yes.
That's what they did with him. That's what they did with Dylan Brooks, who I don't think coming back there next year. I don't think he's gonna be back next year. Because the one thing that is clear to me when it comes to Dylan Brooks is that he's a liability to that team.
Oh wow.
He's a liability. Now again, he's a decent defender, but like I said, like LeBron James took his lunch money, and offensively, he I don't know what the hell happened. 'Cause I remember him when he first got into the league. I remember him being pretty good.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, but now, I mean, there's a compilation of him shooting nothing but bricks and air balls.
To
This is
me, to me,
but
it felt like he just lost his focus. It seems like all he pretty much wanted to do was just try to see how much he could irritate LeBron James. To me, that just felt like what he was his primary focus was to pretty much be a pest, and it didn't work.
he wanted to be a character instead of being a basketball player.
Yeah.
And when you look at guys like Dennis Rodman and I guess you could say Patrick Beverly and stuff like that. Those guys are
Oh,
back.
you finally giving him props
Yeah, yeah,
out of
they're
all
back.
this time.
He's still overrated, but they're basketball players first. And Dylan Brooks went full heel, knowing what he knew what he was doing. He knew what he was doing, but in the process, he became a liability. And if I'm Memphis, I don't bring him back.
Yeah, and I'm looking at so I had to retweet this when and I pretty much said yeah, this is what I said. So after all that trash talk, you decide to miss the press conference not once but twice. So you lost the game and you lost money. Dylan Brooks fined 25,000 for missing media availability. Now maybe I wrote down the wrong misinformation, but he was fined because of missing the press conference.
No, 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 no. He like I don't know. No, no, no. Because I think the press conference when obviously when guys go on whatever stage they're on and they talk to the media there, most guys just talk to the media in the locker room, right? Most guys just talk to the media in the locker room, and you have to do those unless you're hurt or something like that. You have to do those, and that's what he didn't do.
Yeah.
So
I mean, to me, look, and look, listen. After all the times that you were talking trash, after all the times you just kept on egging on LeBron, and mind you, if you remember how he was saying that, oh, he's the villain, and all this other mumbo jumbo that he was saying. I mean, you say all of that, and yet you decide not to, talk to the media. Like it makes you an even bigger coward. Like you're not helping yourself out by making yourself look like a coward, and you lost money during the process.
yeah,
Now, that doesn't. I mean, the guy has averaged what 10 points. Those are not impressive numbers. They're not
it
impressive numbers.
he takes two, man. Just irrational confidence from a guy who just doesn't. His skills don't back it up.
Yeah.
With Russell Westbrook, at least at one time, his skills backed it up. The irrational confidence. With Dylan Brooks, it just doesn't. And I felt like he went so much into the whole caricature of everything, but without really trying to improve his overall game. I think his persona took precedent over everything else. Because remember, like before Dennis Rodman started coloring his hair, dude was an
Hmm.
all star, obviously multi time champion. Like he was regarded as one of the great rebounders of all time, even before he colored his hair.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And started wilding out, or whatever, right? Like, and like to me, I just feel like Dylan Brooks has to he needs to mature and mature quickly. Like, there's nothing wrong with being a pest. There's nothing wrong with having an edge, playing with an edge. We see guys do it all the time, like Draymond, um, you know, Beverly. We see guys who play with an edge. But at least when it comes to those guys, at least those guys earn their reputation by working hard and
Yeah.
improve. Remember, Beverly, I don't think was drafted. Was he drafted? Damn, was Patrick Beverly drafted?
Um,
Let me look this up
I'm,
real quick.
I'm trying to remember. But yeah, while you looking that up, right? What irritates me is that, look, I love when people trash talk. Like, I think that's awesome for competition. I mean, look, every single time when someone makes some type of hand gesture or
Yeah,
whatnot,
drafted in second round. Okay.
you see that in the highlights. Like when people are bickering at each other, like you see that. But when it comes to freaking Brooks, the guy only had 10 points in an elimination game. Before that, he has 8, and before that, he has 11. You mean to tell me that somebody is talking trash, can't even produce 15 to 20 points, and you're going to be talking all that smack to a superstar like LeBron James? Like, so all that showboating was just a waste of time, and it just pretty much made you look bad because it showed that all your attention was all your focus was on trying to egg on LeBron James instead of actually trying to produce on the court. That's what you're focused on. And then you felt embarrassed, like how you said before. He was embarrassed that he decided not to put his face on the camera, and on the process, you lose money. That's not a good combination, man. That's not a good combination for you, for your team, or the whole entire organization. You embarrassed yourself and you embarrassed your whole entire teammates with all that trash talk. Now, don't get me wrong. I understand that other people was talking trash too, like how you showed with John Morant. But at the very least with Morant, at least he was hurt.
At least but no, at least he can back it up. At
Yeah,
least he can back it up.
that
Like, it's not a detriment to his team like Brooks is.
right.
Critical drop says should have fined them 40K for the joke, and it's funny they lost by 40. Yeah, they
Oh,
got
yeah, yes, yes. That was funny. Also, how they also lost by 40, and look, to lose by that amount, uh, that look that I mean, okay, no, you know what? I take it back. I take it back. They were not healthy. They were not healthy,
I
but
don't lose by 40. I don't give a
yeah,
shit.
but you can't lose by 40. You can't lose by 40.
Especially when you do all that trash talking those guys been doing. Can't lose by
Yeah,
40.
but hey, but kudos to Desmond Bain though. That dude showed up. That dude showed up in most of the series. That dude showed up. He was balling throughout the whole series. He just didn't have enough help, unfortunately, from anybody else, especially Brooks. He just wasn't getting enough help. And look, I still think they will be a contender next year if everybody could stay healthy. But they really need to get their act together because they're so immature. That team is extremely immature.
Yeah, yeah.
Extremely immature.
Now on the other side,
Oh,
you know,
what's up, F? And yes, that is a big fine. 25,000 is a big fine. And I don't know if you heard what I said earlier, but it's not. That's not a good combination for you to run away like a chicken after talking all that smack, and then you lose money and you don't want to face the media. Like, come on, man. Like, yeah, that doesn't look good on you or the organization, man. So it is what it is. Hopefully he learned his lesson. But I'll be shocked if what you're saying is true. I'll be shocked if they don't re-sign him next year.
I don't. I personally, I don't know if they will. I don't think they should. I don't think they should.
Okay.
Um, Now on the other side of the bracket, the best series in the first round, Golden State and Sacramento, ended really when pretty much ended early because Steph Curry was like, f this, let's I'm done playing with these dudes. Like, I mean, Steph Curry, how many points he had? 50.
Yeah, 50 points.
My goodness, and he
Yeah,
was,
yeah, 50 points, and he had 8 rebounds.
yeah, he was just peacocking all over those dudes. That's what you call a GOAT performance.
Yes.
And I mean, there was one move where he literally split two. He split two different double teams.
I actually put that on Twitter.
Yeah, go.
I actually put that on Twitter. Let me see if I can find it.
Mhm.
Let me, where is it?
That 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 was crazy.
Okay, yeah. Oh
No, no,
crap. All right.
this
So I think it was at the end. Let me see.
yeah, it was at the end where he
Oh,
literally like
there it
split.
is, right there. One, two, three. Dude,
He decided.
Hoovy.
Yeah, go ahead.
who- uh, uh, um, when he did that, I'm sorry, I had to post this on Twitter. I knew. Look, trust me, I already knew that many people had already saw the highlights and people saw the game. But watching this dude play, I had to record nothing but highlights from this man. Look at this. Splits another.
He did and one on all them dudes.
Dude, like, and I had to do a double take, man. Like, and I had to do a small close up, even though it is kind of blurry. But bro, Hoovy, I that was just an unbelievable highlight that I saw.
Yeah,
I don't think, maybe you could refresh my memory, but I don't ever remember anyone splitting two double teams before. I never seen that before,
yeah,
and never.
not in the NBA game. Like I
No.
said, I've seen this in like and one maybe, but not like this. He was just showing off at that point.
Yeah, and yeah, so that's why I had to post this on the on Twitter, because it was just, this was just a legendary performance
It
from
was.
Steph Curry.
Yeah.
Legendary performance from Steph Curry,
And
and
honestly,
mhm.
like, and props to go Sacramento, man. Like they had a great year, and hopefully they'll build on it. But that you can. There's nothing you can do about that. That's goat. That you got goated, pretty much.
Oh, this one, I had when he did that fake. Look at this, bro, Hoovy.
Yeah, it did it.
This this was the reason why I did not know who to choose between him and Giannis. This is why I always kept him up there. Because he's electrifying. He's box office, and when you could dominate the league with your shooting ability to where there's absolutely nothing that your opponent could do, you have to be labeled as the best player in the league. You have to be. You know what I'm saying? Like the guy. Not only did he score 50 points, but I think he was like 52nd percentage in shooting and field goal percentage.
He did whatever
52.
he did whatever he wanted.
52. 6 assists. He got a steal or two. 7 for 18 on the 3 point line. And in every single quarter he was in double digits. First quarter he had 10 points. Second quarter he had 10 points. Third quarter 14. Fourth quarter 16. Like, are you kidding me? And you know what? You know what was so amazing about that stat? I forgot who. Somebody mentioned this because I didn't even know until later. He only had one turnover throughout the whole entire game,
Yeah, yeah,
despite the fact that he was the primarily ball handler. He only had one turnover. This was just a prime time elite performance from this guy,
yeah.
and to me, he is the best player in the league right now. And I even said it. I even said it on Twitter. Giannis, I'm sorry, but you have to step aside. This dude is the best player in the league. And there's no disrespect to Giannis. The only reason why I decided to take him off, for me in my personal list, was just for the simple fact that he became scared when it was crunch time, like you said before. He got
I'm
scared. He got scared in crunch time, and he started to become a liability with his free throw shooting.
I,
Like
so,
what disappointed my bad. Why I want to say this one last thing. What disappointed me with Giannis was that I remember you had specifically had said that the Miami Heat fans was the one that started that whole countdown thing,
mhm.
and he didn't care. Like he went to the line and he wanted to do his best, trying to make as much free throws as he can. He didn't do that in that series. He didn't do that. He got scared. He got petrified. And on a game 7, Steph Curry decided to take over. And knowing that his teammates needed help, that dude destroyed the whole entire team. Destroyed the whole entire team. For right now, Steph Curry is the best player in the league. Okay, my bad. You could go ahead.
I'm picking Jimmy Butler.
Hmm?
I'm picking Jimmy Butler. Um, okay, so Golden State versus the LA Lakers. Who you got?
Can I get one last shout out real quick?
Mm-hmm.
I need to get one last shout out, and that you might know who I'm going to say. Shout out to Looney. I have to give that dude a huge shout out. Why?
He had
That
what, like three 20 rebound games in the series.
yes,
That's
that dude freaking bullied Sabonis.
yeah.
His lunch money, took his lunch money and then some. You're talking about a guy who had
Uh,
22,
mhm.
22, bullied everybody, and you see
um, is this me or Steve? Because right now, Steve, I don't think you can hear me right now. But you're frozen. I don't know if it's me or him, but I mean, I'm moving, so everything seems to be good right now. Um, hmm. Well, what?
that's exactly what you're supposed to do. Go ahead.
Oh, dude, you cut out bad. Yeah, you cut off bad. No one heard No one heard anything you said.
What happened?
I didn't hear anything of what you just said.
Oh crap! What was the last thing you heard?
You said one last thing.
Oh my. Oh, okay. Maybe it's the internet. All right. You go ahead and talk. Let me make sure the internet is working. Go ahead. You do your thing. I'll be right back.
Yeah, yeah. All right. So Golden State versus LA. Who do I think is gonna win? This is interesting because, in my personal opinion, I think the Lakers. Maybe it was my internet. Yeah, I think my thing was unstable. But yeah, but to me, the Lakers have been more impressive than Golden State. You know what I'm saying? So, and I feel like, how do I say this? I feel like as good as Golden State played in this game, the biggest difference maker is Anthony Davis defensively. If he can make a major impact defensively, there's nobody on the Warriors team I feel like can guard him 1-on-1. Now Draymond will give him a big a huge shot. But I think when Anthony Davis is pretty much on his A game, I don't think anybody can stop him. Plus, obviously, you have LeBron, and then you look at guys like Austin Reeves, um, Rory Hachimura, and D'Angelo Russell. Like D'Angelo Russell, that dude been balling, absolutely balling. And if they can get production from those five guys, elite production from those five guys, I don't know if Golden State has enough even with the greatness of Steph Curry, I don't think they have enough to beat this Lakers team. So yeah, man. So right now I'm just waiting for Steve to get back. But yeah, I got the Lakers. I got the Lakers winning in 7. So yeah, did we talk about Phoenix and Denver that much? Not really. Well, yeah, like I said, I got Phoenix in 7 also, but they can't be getting their asses kicked like that to Denver that often. So yeah, so like I said, I'm just gonna wait for Steve to get back. And because the second topic is his topic, so let's see. In the meantime, let me see. Is there anything worth talking about right now? Who the fuck is this? Let me see. Hmm. Always getting bots trying to follow me on Instagram and shit like that. It's crazy. Um, yeah, let me check. Let me check Twitter real quick. Yeah, what the hell is Steve doing? Oh, hold on a second. I think okay. So F in the chat, he said that he thinks LA has a better bench. Yeah, I think they do too. I think they do also. Because the thing that I'm noticing is that I does it feels to me that Jordan Poole has regressed this year. Oh, Steve, you're there.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, let me ask you a question. Does it feel like Jordan Poole has regressed?
I think I put on Twitter that it seems have because I've noticed that every single time he tries to get to the basket, he's constantly missing easy layups,
Yeah.
and I think that's really mainly his problem. Like he just unable to finish.
I mean, that punch by Draymond really did a number on him.
I think that's what it is too.
No, no, actually, I was joking. I was joking. I was joking.
No. That has to be it because after that punch, I don't really ever recall being impressed with with Poole in his game throughout this whole entire season.
Yeah, but a punch didn't do that to him.
I mean, it knocked him out. It knocked him out cold. But man, I had said a lot regarding to Looney, but you said you didn't hear a thing I said about Looney.
But all
Yeah.
right, who do you think is winning the series?
Um, I have to say Golden State.
I'm picking the Warriors. I mean, I'm picking the Lakers.
I'm the only reason why I'm picking Golden State is because I think overall they have a much better overall squad than LA.
You think so?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Cause I don't think Warriors. I don't think the Warriors bench is that good.
Uh, I mean, the only person that I think that will really give the Warriors problem is Anthony Davis.
And that was my thing is that if the Anthony Davis plays 100, if he plays to his 100% of his capabilities, there's no one on the Warriors that can stop him, including Draymond. There's no one on that team that can stop him.
I think I have a feeling that he's going to get hurt because it's especially with the pace that Warriors go into, like they're always running around and all the cutting. I don't think Anthony Davis will be able to sustain that. I have a feeling that he's going to get hurt. I have a small feeling that he's going to get hurt. Knock on wood. I hope it doesn't happen, but I just have a strange feeling. Look how many times that dude's got hurt in the last series. Just constantly in pain and agonizing pain. I believe the same thing is going to happen in this series. So I'm picking the Warriors. If AD is
Uh,
not healthy, I think it's going to be easy for the Warriors.
Honestly, I can't even disagree with you on that because it's a part of who he's been in his career. So, yeah. So critical drop, and I was actually going to mention this before we move on to the next topic, but critical drop said that notice how the playoff seeds are 1 through 8. Yeah, every team that has advanced There's only been one seed of each that has advanced. So one seed, one two seed, one three seed, one four seed, one five seed, one six seed, one seven seed, and one eight seed.
Oh, you know what? I never noticed that.
Yeah, these playoffs have been absolutely crazy. I've never seen anything like it before. I've never seen anything like it before.
Yeah, nearby.
Yeah, so obviously in the East, obviously Miami took down Milwaukee, number one seed, and New York was the five seed. They were the five seed, and they moved on. And then when you look at obviously Philadelphia took care of business, and Boston took care of business. So that's pretty normal. Out west, like Denver took care of business. Phoenix, they beat the Lakers, so that one's pretty normal. But this one, I mean, both lower seeds won, which was something that a lot of people predicted. You know what I mean? When you have teams like the Warriors who have Steph Curry, right, and then you have the Lakers who have LeBron James, it even if you're the top seed, it's always going to be tough,
Yeah.
especially when your teammates contribute. You know what I mean? It's been crazy. I've never seen anything like this in the NBA.
So you think LA is going to win simply because of AD?
Yeah, I think he's the key to that series for the Lakers. If he can be, because like I said, there's nobody on that team that can stop him.
But who's going to stop Steph?
Um,
Don't say LeBron. He's too old now.
no, 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 no. I'm not saying LeBron. I'm not saying that anyone can stop him per se, but I feel like Anthony Davis, his skill set defensively, is something that can't be duplicated. I don't think anybody on the Warriors team. I don't think they have a big that can cover Anthony Davis. And not Looney. I don't think Looney can do it, even though he did play well last year. He didn't have to deal with Anthony Davis in Sacramento. I mean,
Yeah,
yeah,
but I think Looney is too big for Anthony Davis. I don't, and I think that's one of the reasons why Anthony Davis hate going to the post and play center. I honestly think that will be his Achilles heel. He doesn't like to do bang bang, with the big men. So I think this is going to be a complete mismatch, and I think AD is going to be a complete disadvantage if Looney is guarding him.
if I had to pick between Anthony Davis and Looney, I'm picking Anthony Davis.
Well, of course. I mean, if you're talking about just straight up skill set, yeah, of course. But I don't think Anthony Davis will be able to do anything against Looney unless he's guarding him, from the 3 point line. But if he has to go into the post, Looney's going to crush him.
I don't know about that, man. I don't know about that.
I mean,
I
look what he did. Look what he did to Sabonis. Sabonis couldn't do anything.
All right, but that's the bonus. Like we're talking about a guy. Look, Sabonis is a good player, but he's kind of overrated.
Oh, you kidding me now? Are you serious? Wow,
He's kind of overrated.
wow.
He's not as good as people make him out to be.
You do realize that he did hurt his eye. You know that, right?
All right,
And then he got banged up from from Jim on Green too, literally.
I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that.
Okay.
Anything else you want to add before we go to the second topic?
No, I mean we could move on to the second topic because I really wanted to give Looney credit, but all I pretty much said from Looney was that he stole Sabonis lunch money, and that with the constant rebounding, Sabonis really didn't stand a chance against Looney whatsoever, and I think Looney has a chance to do the exact same thing as far as rebounding is concerned. I think he'll be able to duplicate that against LA. I think Anthony Davis is just too smart for Looney, in my opinion.
All right, all right. Yeah, this is your topic.
Okay, so moving away from basketball, but we are going to be talking about sports. But this is going to be a very interesting topic for you guys and gals. This topic is pretty much about. I mean, it's not really. It's pretty much about track and field, and It's about a young lady who pretty much not able to perform anymore, not able to compete anymore, simply because they said that she had too much testosterone. What am I talking about here? So let me share this article and I'll read and you all could, read along with me. This is going to be a very, very interesting topic here. So here we go. Can you see it?
Yeah, I'll talk it up.
Can you see it?
Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
okay. So Caster Semenya blocked from competing at World Championship. So Caster Semenya will not compete at the World Championship in Doha after a Swiss court stood behind an IAAF rule that would require her to take testosterone reducing medication. Um, you know what? Before I even continue on, you see how the stupidity this thing is, because when it comes to sports, you know how they say that you pretty much have to be drug free. You're not allowed to take any type of drugs when you want to compete.
Hmm.
But here, she has to take drugs to reduce her testosterone. But what happened to your position that you're not supposed to be taking any drugs at all? I don't care what kind of sport it is. If your stance is no drugs is allowed, now you're telling me that in this particular case, oh, she has too much testosterone, so she
But
has to she has to be on medication reducing her
based on
testosterone.
the rules, her testosterone levels are too high. Based on the rules, it's too high. So I mean, she has to take something to reduce it.
I
Ba-
mean, I don't. You think that's right?
You know, I don't see. I just found out about this lady today. I had no idea what's right or wrong.
All right. Well, let me continue the reading if that's the case. Let me know if you can hear me. It looks like my internet's going crazy.
Yeah.
Um, The South African has been expected to defend her World 800 title in the late September after the Swiss Supreme Court had temporarily exempt her from an IAAF rule relating to athletes with differences in sexual development, DSD. That decision has now been overturned by the tribunal at the same court. In the statement issued through her PR agency, Samanya said, I'm very disappointed to be kept from defending my hard earned title. This, but this will not deter me from continuing my fight for human rights of all of the female athletes concerned. But yeah, so before I continue on, like I'm, I'm just shocked because listen, you cannot go or try to go against the grain when it comes to nature. If this is how she was developed, how she grew up with the extra testosterone, just let it be. Unfortunately, yes, that's probably you might say that that's unfair, but
It is unfair.
it how is it unfair?
I mean, she has testosterone levels that are abnormally high.
So would that have would you be in the exact same stance that was for the men?
Yeah, they have the same rules for the men too.
No, 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 no. Would you say that for the men, there should be a guy should be disqualified because he just happens to have more testosterone than everybody else?
If his levels are are super high, then I mean it depends on the rule. It depends on the rule. Because like they do something like this in the UFC, like TRT, right? I know you've heard of it before,
Hmm.
right? There are some guys they allowed it for a while, and guys who were older, were becoming more shredded and really was kicking ass for a long time. Like perfect example is Vitor Belfort. Belfort been in MMA before his TRT run, he was in MMA for a long time. He was one of the pioneers of UFC. He comes back with TRT. He's in better shape now than he was when he was younger, kicking dudes in the head and all the other stuff. And once they banned TRT, he was never the same. Never the same. So like yeah, it happens. Like I'm not saying she's right or wrong. Cause I have no idea. But they have these rules for a reason.
Okay, if you took pills or needles
Cause,
to,
cause you,
to
yeah, cause here's the thing. Cause you also have to remember, like they're trying to prevent doping and steroid use. And when you use steroids and stuff like that, to my knowledge, don't your testosterone levels go up?
hmm
Yeah, so I mean that's why they have that's why they have the provision in the first place. So
okay,
that
but that's not by nature though. If you just naturally, just in nature, naturally, you just had testosterone levels that were just higher than the average person, you shouldn't be punished for that.
we're here,
You
we're
should,
here.
you should, you should, you should. Now, if you're injecting yourself, with testosterone, and it showed that you actually was taking drugs, okay, now I understand. But if it just happened naturally, you shouldn't be punished for that.
No, I don't know if she's ever failed a drug test or whatever. But at the end of the day, you never know what's going on in these governments and all the other stuff. That's why they have the provisions in place. That's why the provisions are in place.
But you're punishing her for something that's beyond her control. Or even if it's a man,
But
you're punishing them that's beyond their control.
but according to them, they can't just assume that she's clean. They can't just assume that she's clean. Like I said, I don't know what drug test she's taking or passed or failed or whatever. I don't know, but they can't just assume that she's clean.
All right. Well, let maybe I think it's going to tell us more. So last month, the Swiss Supreme Court temporarily suspended the IAAF rule that requires all DSD athletes to reduce their testosterone to below 5 nmol for at least 6 months if they want to compete internationally at all distance from 400 meter to a mile. The rule has been at the century of a landmark case brought against the IAF by Semenya at the court um, arbitration for sport CAS. The case found in favor of the international athlete body and it claimed that high levels of testosterone provided a material advantage in women's competition. Somalia has refused to take hormone medication and is in the process of appealing against the CAS decision. A temporary stay of the rule has been granted while that appeal continued, but the court decided to overturn that decision after finding that the high threshold of any suspension had not been fulfilled. Do you have anything to say yet?
Mm-mm.
Okay, so let me skip. Let me go to the meat and potatoes of this thing. Where is it? I think it's okay. This is the. I think this is okay. This is the last part. So I cannot pronounce this
I
lawyer's
think
name.
it's Dorothy.
Dorothy,
Mm-hmm.
Dorothy Shiham,
Shram.
Sharam.
Yeah, Shram.
Okay, Sharam, whatever. The lawyer leading her appeal said the judge's procedure decision has no impact on the appeal itself. We will continue to pursue Caster's appeal to fight for her fundamental human rights. A race is always decided at the finish line. In a statement, the IAF said, "We understand that the Swiss Federal Tribunal will be issuing its full decision on this order tomorrow, Wednesday, and the IAF will continue once the tribunal makes its reasoning public." Okay, like I said earlier, and when I first paragraph in the beginning, to take drugs to reduce testosterone if that's what she had started with in the beginning. And based on this article, she wasn't suspended. She
Oh wait, hold on, Steve. You're breaking up a little
there's
bit.
no ruling saying that she cheated or that she was on drugs, anything like that.
Oh,
How
you repeat what you just said because you were breaking up a little bit.
I said they never said that she cheated or used any type of drug when she won her first championship.
But you know what they did do? They forced her to take a what was it body identification test or something like that.
Hmm.
So that she had to prove to them that she was a woman.
Okay, and what was the results?
Apparently, she's a woman.
She's a woman. Exactly, she's a woman. So for you to tell her, to take drugs that she already has inside of her body naturally to reduce whatever it is that she has to reduce, I think is a bunch of hogwash. I think you should not force someone to do that. And it makes it hypocritical because you're telling people that you should be taking drugs anyway. That's number one. And number two, why didn't you do this prior before she won her championship?
I
Why
think
didn't you do why didn't you do this before?
I
If
I,
this was such an issue, why didn't you tell her, oh, okay, you have too much testosterone, maybe you shouldn't be able to compete
I
at
think
all.
I think they just came up with the I like again. I don't know what the full story is, but I can't just assume that this came out of nowhere.
Okay. So let me ask you this question because you mentioned UFC
Yeah, and
or
let me also say let me read this from David. He said TRT is a different story. That's not 100% natural. That's an external substance changing their body. He's right, but it was allowed. And guys who use TRT, they were better. They were better off because of it. And when it was outlawed, a lot of guys weren't the same. And let me see what else he said. If someone gave you a great gift, is it right for someone else to steal your ability to use that gift? I get what you're saying, bro, but at the end of the day, they're not assuming. They can't just assume that this is all natural. It would be.
why not?
You just can't. And I guarantee you, even though it didn't say it on the article, you honestly think that there's all these competitors, especially in that sport. Do you think they all think that she's clean? I guarantee you, there's several competitors that don't think that she's clean. I guarantee it. And it is the job of that governing body to make sure that the sport is clean. Even though we don't know truly how we truly don't know if they are legit about that. But at the end of the day, that's their job. That is their job. So again, like I said, I don't know what the whole story is because I read another article revolving it. She does have a couple of interviews that she does talk about it and stuff like that, and it's yeah, it's a crazy situation.
Well, what do you have it?
Hmm? Do I have
Do
the
you have
interview?
the article?
No. Um, on my phone, yeah. Let me see if I can.
Oh, come on, dude. Oh, while you're looking for it, the question I was going to ask you was, if let's say all right, this is a bad example, but just to make a point, if John Jones suddenly became champion, he becomes champion, and they found out that he had extra testosterone, but he didn't take any drugs. It just so happens that he just had more testosterone than all the other guys in the weight division. They should suddenly just revoke his title because of it.
No, but here's the thing with John Jones. He actually did take steroids, and they did revoke his license. So yeah. Let me see. What article was it? Okay.
Repeat what you said about John Jones.
I mean, he did get suspended for steroid use.
Because he used steroids. It wasn't
Yeah.
natural. He actually used drugs.
Hmm.
That's the difference. She and in this particular case, it was all natural. She didn't use any drugs.
I mean, but
So
again,
you shouldn't be punished for that.
I understand what you're saying, but they can't just assume that she's clean. They just can't. Okay, this is the article. You want me to read this?
You don't have to read the whole thing, just
Or,
some of it.
let me see if I find. Um, okay. As track and field competitions get underway at the top, yeah, this is old. Um, yeah. Oh, okay. No. Wait a minute. What? Yeah. How? When is this? Yeah, this is 2021. I didn't even realize this. Yeah, this is 2021, bro. Like, yeah, this is. Yeah. Okay. Let me read this part. Let me read this part. Female eligibility rules have been fought over in the court for years and have raised heated debate about fairness and inclusion. And yeah, inclusion. The debate hinges on this question: should women athletes with what is called a difference of sexual development (DSD) who have XY chromosomes and elevated testosterone levels be allowed to compete in the female category, or is that general makeup or does their general makeup give intersex athletes an unfair advantage in a world of sports that divided along binary lines of sex? Yeah, so yeah, dude, she's been going through this since since 2019. She's been going through this mainly because a lot of her detractors don't believe that either she's clean or don't believe that she's a woman. So like that's the issue. That's the issue because that's what her detractors think. All right, so let me continue on from David. He said, "Isn't it innocent until proven guilty?" You're right, but in that governing body, they have to do their due diligence. They have to because could trust me, drugs and stuff like that, performance enhancing, drugs are always going to be ahead of the curve. Always going to be ahead of the curve. So if guys are cheating to get guys or girls are cheating to get an advantage, then they have to be diligent in trying to catch it. So Joe's in the chat. What's going on, Joe? And David also said that John Jones also took sketchy boner pills that made him fail the test. Yeah, that's true too. Yeah, that's true too. So I mean, yeah, that's pretty much. My thing is that I just don't know enough about the story to really give an opinion.
Yeah,
But
can you hear me?
yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you. I,
Yeah. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second.
mhm. But yeah, like I said, I don't know enough about the situation to determine whether or not she's lying or telling the truth or nothing like that. I don't know. But at the end of the day, there are testosterone levels that athletes have to adhere by. And look, the whole thing is just them trying to clean up the sport. That's it. Whether you agree or disagree, that's just how it is. So yeah, I'll see when he gets back. Um, I mean, his internet was fine until he decided to try to fix it. But I understand. I get it. So Joe, what's up with you, bro? What's going on? I just remembered. I still owe you money. So yeah, don't worry. I will pay you back, sir. I know. I owe you money, so I do. I will pay you back. Hmm. Hmm. All right, so the Redfall review, we're gonna be talking about Redfall. That's gonna be kind of like the main event. And right now, the reviews are coming in, and on Metacritic, it has a 62. Yeah. You paid me. You let me borrow like $40 a couple weeks ago, and I forgot to pay you back. So don't worry, I'll pay you back. Yeah. So oh man, yeah, that is 62 on Metacritic right now. Holy shit. Mm-mm-mm. Everything is cool. Okay, that's good to hear. Hopefully, I know. Hopefully, Junior's doing well. Hopefully, the missus is doing well. And man, that's crazy, man. Man, that is crazy. A 62. Holy shit. Okay, so David says that I don't disagree with testing her, but I would disagree with taking away her title and stuff like that off of an assumption. But I don't know if she's intersex, then she's not a female. It makes it different. Yeah, I think that's why this stuff is complicated because again the goal especially when it comes to female sports because again like you're dealing with bodies that are vastly different than men and I don't know man it's a different animal man it's a different beast and like I said I don't want to make any assumptions about how she looks or anything like that but you know I can see why she's being tested. Now, to me, I need to know. Like, I guess I'll look it up eventually, but I do need to know what her records are because if she's like blowing away the competition, they're always gonna raise flags. That's always gonna raise red flags. All right, so Raggy Joe, you said Steve and comic book guy tried to DP me. I saw the setup and avoided the bait and didn't go to the shop. Really? Wait. Wait, wait. So you were going to the store. You're going to the comic book store, right? But you saw Steve and comic book guy. I don't know who that is, but and you saw them inside, and you decided not to go inside. Huh? That's interesting. And McKinley, we will be talking about. We're going to be doing a Mario spoiler cast on Thursday. Yeah, so Thursday we're gonna be doing that. So hmm, man, that's crazy. No, okay, so you said no, I was gonna go. What were they gonna double team you on? Yeah, what were they gonna double team you on? Then I got a text from comic book shop guy and knew Steve was there. Oh, okay. Oh, trans issue. Okay. I don't blame you then. I don't blame you then. Yeah, I don't blame you. Yeah, I don't blame you. Oh my god. See, the cool thing about following Xbox guys on Twitter is seeing them melt down when a game doesn't do well. Like again, I will never say that I want to see games fail. for the record, pro transport, but not male to female, and female not, you know, not fair. Yeah, yeah. I'm with you there too. I'm with you there too. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you there too. Yeah, but that's the great thing about following some of these Xbox dudes, because they the meltdown that they get to is beyond crazy. It's crazy. Oh man. All right, hold on a second. I'm gonna see if I can reach Steve on WhatsApp, kind of get an idea of what's going on. Yeah, you said that I want to see a female to male compete in male sports. Okay. All right. So let me see. So I sent him a message, kind of asking for an update, and then we'll see, because we really only have one topic in this Redfall, and I mean this and Redfall is gonna be fun. This thing gonna be fun reading this. Mm-mm. Oh man. Yeah. So like I was saying, I don't want to see games fail, but I do also like to see fanboy get their comeuppance. I do like that. So okay. Yeah, you're talking Dave there. So man. Okay, are you there?
Uh, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Loud and clear. I hope.
Yes, loud and clear.
Dude, that thing was giving me. That thing was just driving me nuts. Apparently, I missed a lot based on all the comments.
Uh, not too much. I mean, Joe was pretty much telling me why he avoided you in the comic book shop, because you were trying to talk to him about the trans issue. So you had that.
When was that?
I don't know. Apparently this weekend. Apparently.
About trans?
hmm
He wasn't even at the comic book store.
That he was gonna go, but the comic book guy told him that you were there, and I guess he thought that you two were gonna engage in the conversation with him about transsexuals. That's why he didn't show up.
Oh well, then that's his problem. If he can't, if he's that much afraid to go into the comic book store just because of a measly conversation, well then that's his problem. He has to deal with that. He's the one that left. I stayed. I
Okay.
enjoyed myself, but he wants to leave, and that's his prerogative.
Okay.
So,
You have any other comments with Caster Semenya? Because the Redfall topic just got a lot more interesting.
well, I wanted to say something about Joe, but let me say something about this thing one real quick, since so we can move on from it. At the end of the day, if she had, or male or female, if you have extra testosterone naturally, you should not be punished for it, nor should you be forced to take any type of drug to reduce it. Now, on the same token, if you decide to inject yourself with extra testosterone to get an advantage over your opponents, over the competition, then yes, you should be banned, you should be punished, your title should be revoked, absolutely. But if this happened naturally, you should not be punished for that whatsoever.
No, I,
You
I
should,
want. Oh no, go ahead. Continue. My bad.
because didn't they show that Serena Williams have more testosterone than the average tennis player?
Um,
if that's the case, based on that, then she all of her rewards should be revoked too.
I think I've heard some conversation about it, but here's the thing. Realistically, I don't want I don't like doing this. But you look at Serena Williams. Does she look like a woman to you?
I guess.
Yeah, a very nice thick woman. Mrs. Samaya doesn't like, and me personally, I don't think she. Like, I'm not saying that she is a woman or not a woman, but she, when you look at her, obviously suspicion is gonna be raised. Gonna be raised.
Okay, but it's then they I think they're already proven that she is a woman. She just has, extra testosterone. And when women with extra testosterone, yes, their face are going to be, a bit more firm, and they develop, extra muscles obviously, and they're going to have more agility than the other women. But that's just how it is. She was born that way, and she shouldn't be punished because of it.
Okay, but like the thing is that I also wanted to say this: Lance Storm for years, winning the Tour de France and all the other stuff, and doping and drugs were a huge issue in that sport. He always swore up and down that he was innocent, ruined people's lives over it. Then come to find out he lied.
You talking about that cyclist guy?
Lance Storm, yeah, no,
Yeah,
Lance Armstrong,
yeah.
yeah, for years, winning Tour de France, proving saying that I'm clean, I'm clean, I'm clean. Then come to find out he wasn't clean.
Hmm.
So it's like all I'm saying is that you never know, and hopefully whatever happens, hopefully there's a legit conclusion to all of this. But all right, so let me read some comments, then we can move on. And Joe said that no, he's just trying to conserve his peace, but he does agree with you. I think he agreed with you with your statement.
I mean, you could say, conserve your peace all you want, but I mean, listen, uh, it never stopped you to engage in those conversations before. Never.
I think
You're always the one attacking me on my on Twitter. So what's stopping you from doing it face to face? Well, I mean, you're always go on Twitter attacking me, calling me an idiot and all this other stuff. I mean, clearly you should have the guts to come face to face with me, aren't you? Right?
I think maybe it's probably he feels like you guys are just gonna have the same argument over and over again, which
I mean,
I
that's
which I how I feel a lot of times about our some of our arguments. We're just repeating the same talking points over and over again.
I mean that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. But I mean, look, whatever issue that happened before. I mean, look, it could have been whatever, but at the end of the day, I mean, life just goes on. But look, if this means that he's going to run away from now on every time I'm in the comic book store, I mean, like, there is nothing I could do about that. But as far as him agreeing, that's a huge surprise. But I appreciate it, I guess. Yeah.
Um, Last two times we were at the comic book shop, I did go face to face, and Steve was outnumbered. We all,
That's the biggest lie. So here's how one of the conversations were done, right?
all
So
right.
I was telling the guy up front how when we was watching the Endgame movie, how I was really disappointed because they were showing off all the females that suddenly got together and they started marching, women power, and I pretty much said
Yeah, I knew you. I knew you didn't like that part.
I well, it wasn't just me. Everyone in the comic book store, with the exception of Jabonis, knew that that was pretty much like a letdown. Like, are you serious? Type of moment. Like, why in the world are you going to do that? Like, it pretty much for me. Now, if it didn't ruin the movie for Jabonis or anybody else, but the question was, did it ruin the movie for you? I said for me, it ruined the ending, not the whole movie, but it ruined the ending. You're having this great movie where this epic battle that was building up, building up, building up, building up, and it dropped to a cliff once that moment came about with all those women coming together. Like it just ruined the movie for me.
Of course it
And
did.
my overall point is, when you have, whether if it's you trying to appease to a particular group, if you are going to if you are going to try to appease a group but then sacrifice another group, it's not going to go well for you. You're going to have people complain instead of you just go with the flow of focusing, making a good movie instead of trying to appease somebody. That's my opinion.
We all like change in comics, and we all like Miles Morales. Why go to a comic book shop to hear a sermon? He's lying because I was one that said that it was a letdown, but he said it ruined the whole movie for him.
See, obviously you need to get your ears checked, get the wax out of your ears. I said it ruined the ending for me, not the whole movie. It ruined the ending. The ending, not the whole movie. It ruined the ending.
I I,
It was a huge letdown. Go
I
ahead.
think one of the most iconic moments in cinema history, and you're focusing on what 5 seconds.
I don't care. I don't care how many seconds it was.
That doesn't surprise me. That doesn't
I
surprise
don't care how many seconds it was. I don't care if it was 2 seconds. It ruined the moment for me.
me. Of course it did. 5 seconds ruined a 2 hour saga. Okay, let's move on. Let's move on. Redfall. Now you've been wanting to talk about this game for a little bit, right? Because I'm sure you're interested in the game, right?
Yeah, even though it wasn't really, I don't think it's out for the PS5 anyway.
No, 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 no. It's Xbox One exclusive.
Yeah.
No, Xbox exclusive. It is available on PC, but when it comes to consoles, it's only available on Xbox. It's not even on the old Xbox console, not on the Xbox One. This is next generation only. Technically next gen only. And this is the first game they have with this. And this is the score that it's gotten so far. 27 reviews, has a 64.
Oh, I could have sworn you said the review scores didn't come out yet.
Yeah, it's just coming out now.
Okay.
Yeah. 60,
Read some of these comments. I want to. What does it say? What does it say?
well, these are some of the positive scores, and no
Okay.
surprise, some of these scores are from Xbox fanboys. Like
Okay.
Xbox. Redfall is fantastic in most ways. A few baffling design decisions around its co-op implementation and some frustrating technical issues hold it back. It is fun as hell solo and ridiculously so in co-op. With a little post-launch support, it is going to become something special. I gotta stop. I gotta stop. Steve, can you tell that I'm upset right now?
Why are you upset? Why are you upset?
Okay, you said that with a few post-launch support is going to become something special, and I don't disagree with that. But if it's going to become something special, why the fuck is it an 87, 85? Because to me, an 85 is something special.
Yes, agreed.
And even said it right here, has some baffling design decisions around its co-op implementation. Isn't that the main? That isn't that the main? That's the main thing. The main feature of this is the co-op.
Correct.
So if there's something that is baffling to you, why is it an 85? Oh, I know why. I know why. Because right here, that's why. That's why. 85. And this is not the first time they've given bad Xbox games good scores. It is how it is. And the same thing with this Sumo Xbox. Sumo Xbox. Redfall is the kind of game that gets you into action with your friends. It's super fun, especially when you join a team of four and are tasked with fighting hordes of vampires to save survivors and meet and meet Haven objects. But that's not all. What really takes this game to another level are the character enhancement mechanics and dynamic agility of movement. Now, I have to read the full review to see if they're full of shit or not.
Mm-hmm.
But regardless of that, this is the score right now, 64, right? Which is not good, especially for a studio like Arcane Studios. Arcane Studios are a very good studio under Bethesda. And for this game right now to have a 64, that's not good. Now, I made a video about Redfall a couple weeks ago, right? Regarding it being 30 frames per second, right? And we didn't have like an argument, but we had a discussion about whether or not it's a big deal or not. The reason why it's a big deal to me is because you, Microsoft, you guys labeled the Xbox as the what was it? You proclaimed Xbox to be the most powerful console, at least with the Series X, right? You have your executives talking about 60 FPS like it was going to be the standard, and right now it's not the standard; it's at 30. In fact, they have labels on the box saying that this is gonna this the 60 FPS thing is gonna come out later on. The 60 FPS option is gonna come out at a later date. They have it in the back of the box.
Yeah.
Even though every trailer, everything that was shown about this game touted it being 60 FPS.
How how is it that you're going to advertise something and yet it's not available once you pay for it? Oh no, it's going to be available later, not now. We're going to advertise that it's available now, but it's you won't have access to it later on.
Until later.
Um,
And this game has been delayed already. The game been delayed. And I'm sorry, I look at the visuals and actually let's look at the visuals. Let's go. Let's see if we can find some visuals of this game. Let me shout out to my boy Jimmy Butler. All right, please don't be hurt. Where's Twitter at? I'm gonna start page. While I pop up Twitter, and I'll show you gameplay footage, leaked gameplay footage of this game.
mhm.
All right, so Twitter's probably gonna take some time to load up. So while I wait for that, while I wait for that, all right, so the 30 FPS thing came out. That was a big deal. IGN did their gameplay of it. That didn't look particularly great. Um, and right now the Metacritic right now is at a 64. So I mean, what's your thoughts about the game?
Well, I do have the article that I wanted to read real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Of what my issue, was the game. What was the issue, with the game? The reason why I still have an issue with this is because I feel that regardless of what the game is supposed to be about, regardless if you have a lot of co-op in it, if the game itself has single player mode, there's absolutely no reason why you should be forced to remain online just so you can enjoy single player content. I don't believe in that whatsoever. So this is the reason why I pull up this article. So I'm not going to read the whole thing, but it says here Redfall is an unbecoming open world co-op. Obviously, this is a couple of days old. From Arcane Studios, Austin Bethesda for Xbox Series X and PC. Set in a small town of Redfall, Massachusetts, players must survive against legions of vampires and other dangerous enemies after a failed experiment leaves them trapped. Um, Dramatically similar to popular Left 4 Dead series, Redfall lets four-player work cooperatively to fight against hordes of foes while progressing through a narrative and objective-driven missions. While Redfall gives gamers the option of single player as well as four-player co-op, according to Arcane Studios, they won't get the option to play these modes offline through Arcane Studios' Redfall FAQ. It stated that a persistent online connection is required for single player and co op. Redfall looks to follow a modern trend of only games, but this comes with some concerning implications that affect gamers and the state of gaming as a whole. See, this is the main issue that I have with the game. The fact that you have to remain online in order for you to play single player. I constantly try to ask people who are hardcore gamers, why is it? What is the main issue of not giving us the choice to play single player mode offline? What is the problem? What's the big issue here? Why are you forcing gamers, the consumer, me, who wants to play your game? Why are you forcing me to remain online on single player mode? Why?
Based on what you can see on the next thing, anti-piracy, according to them.
Let's read it.
Anti-piracy.
Let's read it. All right, let's read it. Let's read it. In recent
Yeah,
years,
you're
Go ahead.
hmm?
Yeah, I'm gonna read. It. I'm gonna read it. In
Hmm.
recent years, developers have adopted anti-piracy practices to ensure the safety and protection of the projects. DRM, digital rights management, is the most efficient way to protect copyrights for digital media, including video games. It essentially limits the copying and selling of games and is used to authenticate game purchases. Utilizing an online only model with DRM takes it a step further. Making sure the player is always connected online authenticates the player's game. Although this practice is beneficial to developers and their products, the online only model can pose a problem for the player. You see, here's the thing: you're not going to fix the issue by sacrificing the decision making for me. If I want to play a game offline, I should have the capability to do that. And what is the and you mean to tell me? So I'm not a programmer. I'm not a game designer. Now I am going to school for for coding and such. So I'm still learning. I'm still in the beginning stages of it. But tell me this: if your problem or your issue is for piracy, you mean to tell me that having the capability to play single player? Because remember, you have to be online to play online anyway. Yeah,
Obviously.
you obviously have to play. You have to play. You have to be online in order for you to play multiplayer. But giving us the option to giving us the option to play offline during single player mode shouldn't be hurting the companies. How are you hurting the companies by just giving us the option to play offline just for single player mode? I could understand if let me see if I could think of a game real quick. Let me see. Crap, I can't think of name me a game that's only online only besides this one.
Destiny.
No, no, no. I don't want to use Destiny as Okay, okay. Grand Theft Auto Online, right?
Hmm.
It okay. There's no single player content on that game at all.
No, they
No,
have the.
no, no. But what I'm trying to say is yes, there's single player mode on there, but isn't the online for GTA 5 different from the single player mode?
Hmm. Yeah,
I can't hear you.
yeah, yeah.
I think my internet's messed up again.
Wait, don't, wait. Hold on a second. Just wait for it to don't log off. Just wait for it to fix itself. Wait, right
Uh,
now, yeah, right now you can't hear me right now. Um,
One second.
just let me know when you can hear me. All right.
Nah, I can hear you now.
Okay. 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 Yeah, so yeah, well, I mean, yeah, GTA has it online and offline mode. Yes,
Okay, internet seems to be good.
but if you want to play um the online missions, you could do them by yourself, but you can't do them offline. You have to do them online.
The online missions,
Hmm.
yeah, yeah, online missions. The issue that the problem that I have is you still have when you want to play single player mode on Grand Theft Auto, you could play that offline, can't you?
Yeah, you can play GTA offline. Yeah, but if you want to do specific missions that they showcase, you have to do them online.
Oh, then that's not a good example either. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I
especially
didn't
yeah,
know that.
yeah.
But aren't those modes single player?
I mean, if you want to do, like I said, the story mode is obviously single player, but they have like you said, they have all these like missions and stuff like that, which is intended to be with multiple people. But you can do them by yourself, but you have to be online to do them.
Okay. So okay, so never
It's,
mind.
it's, it's them, it's them pretty much choosing the online over giving a single player DLC.
Okay. But you see how we're having less control over our games now. You realize that, right?
Yeah, but I mean, Rudolphi, shout out to you. So here we go. Why is online such an issue?
I already told you why. I already told you why. It's an issue because now I'm forced to remain online in order to play games. If the game has, especially if games have single player, there's no way in hell that you could tell me that they are incapable of allowing a game to go offline on single player mode. There's no way that you could tell me that. Not in 2023. Not in 2023. I don't know why you are so in favor of having games online only, where if the game is not accessible when you are offline. Like let's say if you had to move somewhere, let's say if somehow your internet doesn't seem to work, your games are obsolete until you are back online again. Why in the world would I want to support something like that? Why in the world do I have to should I support and be happy about something where I don't have access to it unless I'm online? How is that a good thing? Tell me how that's an absolute good, Riddler.
Right. While you wait for him to do that, let me read some comments. Joe said to ask Steve about Miles. I already know.
I don't care about Miles.
Okay.
I don't care about Miles. And if you care about Miles, that's fine. But for me, I'm sticking with Peter Parker and Peter Parker only.
Okay.
Go ahead.
He said No Man's Sky one thing, day one patches. LOL. AAA gaming normal as usual. Yeah, with No Man's Sky, it needed like what 20, 30 patches for it to get to where it should have been. You know what I mean? Needed all that. All right, but anyway, here my Twitter has been up, and now you see this right here. Now, Dustin Legary, have you heard of this guy?
No.
He works for, I believe he works for IGN. Does he work? Let's look at his profile. Hmm. He doesn't say it here, but I know he used to. I think he used to work for IGN, right?
Hmm.
Now he is a avid. He covers Xbox, and frankly, I consider him to be an Xbox fanboy, right? But even here's what he said right here. I've played enough Redfall to tell you it's a bad game. Brain dead AI, empty world, buggy tech issues. If he's saying that about Redfall, I mean, Wolf. If he's saying that about Redfall, what did that tell you?
That we are paying $70 for an incomplete game.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. If I wanted to play it, I don't have to pay $70. I just get it on Game Pass, and to me, that's the problem.
Can
That's
you elaborate?
I mean, I guarantee you the reason why they didn't launch with a 60 FPS mode, the reason why they launched with the game in this state, and this guy right here, Broken Games HD, he's complaining that there's not enough PC graphic settings, not enough. The reason why they released this in the state that it's in because it's in Game Pass, and since you're only paying $15 for it, they don't have to give you everything at launch. They can just release the game, get it out there, and that's it. And then you obviously they'll improve the game later.
But here's a problem with that statement, though. I hear what you're saying, but the problem is you're still screwing people over who don't have Game Pass and wants to buy the game for 70, because they're going to face the exact same experience as a person who was on Game Pass. So to me, that excuse shouldn't hold any water whatsoever, because you're screwing all the people who wants to buy it physically and wants to buy and expects to have everything in there, all the features in there, because they paid 70 for it. You're still screwing both people.
But do they care? That's the question. Do they care? That's the thing. Do they care? Because at the end of the day, we all know what their main focus is in this Game Pass. That's their main focus.
I
Let
mean,
me see if I can find some video of
I mean, e- I mean, even if that's the focus, it, there, it's putting them in a bad light
in
because.
2000.
Go ahead.
no, 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 go ahead, continue.
No, what I was gonna say is, even if that's their main focus, they're not even doing a good job at it. You're not telling us, you're not giving us a good product if all you're gonna do is give us incomplete games. Just because somebody's paying $15, for Game Pass, or $10 for Game Pass, that doesn't mean the game should come out incomplete.
I agree with you, but but this is when you give people the option to not pay full price for games and these big budget games. These are what you're going to get. It's at least the likelihood of getting these type of games are a lot higher. Because at the end of the day, like people, there is an expectation when you pay $70 for a game, and when you pay full price for a game, there's an expectation to where, hey, this game needs to be as good as possible. In Arcane Studios, they've already have a proven track record of making good games. So if they release this in the state that it's in right now, based on what some of these people are saying, and this in this video that I'm going to play is going to show, you're gonna you're gonna see it right here. The only excuse that I can come up with is that they decided to release on Game Pass and then they're gonna finish it later.
That's not a good business model either. That's not a good business model either, because because you're still a subscriber.
Yeah,
So so what you're trying to do now is just trying to release a game that's incomplete, but you're pretty much punishing me for being a subscriber. That's what you're basically saying.
no,
I'm being punished because I'm only paying $15 for a game, for a product that you offered.
in their mind, in their mind, hey, you pay $15, you get access to all of our games. In their mind, that's what they probably think.
Well, it looks like Tatum is hurt.
Yeah, let's see what happened.
I think he just tripped, maybe twist his ankle or something. I don't know. Anyway, but yeah, what were you saying?
I think that they at the end of the day they make Game Pass because they're giving you access to their games for a reduced price. And when you do that, the expectations have to go lower. And it doesn't help that they have a bunch of people in they have a bunch of people online who are Xbox fanboys who enable this type of behavior. They enable it by saying, hey, Sony should do the same thing. Right? Knowing damn well that Sony can't do the same thing, and I don't think they want to do the same thing because at the end of the day, a lot of their developers want to create, you know, they want to create full fledged games, AAA games.
as they should.
Yeah, and I mean, listen to this.
Redfall feels confused.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, I can't see anything though.
Oh, hold on. Mm, oh, all right. All right. Ready?
Yeah.
Redfall feels confused, old, and unfinished. Worse yet, it's in a head-on race with Star Wars Jedi and Last of Us PC port to see who can have the buggiest game in 2023. Let me say this. Redfall has so many bugs for more than 2 hours, we thought one of the bugs was a feature we just hadn't discovered yet. Despite a game about vampires versus mankind, Redfall's largest battle is with itself and with dueling philosophies that never come together. Does it want to be a four-player looter shooter kind of title? And if it does, its options, presentation, and flexibility go directly against old and new classics in that genre. Or does it want to be a narrative-driven, deep world? And in that way, it strangely finds itself looking into a mirror, and instead of seeing no reflection like vampires themselves, it sees all of the older siblings in the form of Arcane's prior titles. And it's just a bloated, unrelenting mess. Redfall feels confused, old, and unfinished. Worse yet, it's in a head-on race.
Yeah, and I'm looking at these videos. All right, let's look at this. Look at this video. Let me bring this up.
Нет, секунду назад она точно была. Смотри, она же не дышит.
Я думала, она уже сдохла.
Нет, секунду.
Steve.
Yeah. Yeah, can you hear me?
Okay. All right, so you can see this, right? Hold on, let me go back to it. Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, look at this.
Секунду назад она точно была жива.
Что происходит?
Oh my gosh.
This is next gen only.
Смотри,
This is
смотри.
only available next gen.
Say that again.
This is only available this is next gen only. And I saw this going around. Oh my god, look at this. You see all that?
Oh my goodness.
Steve, you can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh my goodness. That's bad.
And like I said, Arcane, they make good games. But the minute they decide to make a game on that goes directly to Game Pass day one, and that's what you get. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is, man.
I mean, people just need to unsubscribe at this point. If people need to unsubscribe and just focus on buying games. Well, I don't want to say full price anymore either, because if you buy the game full price, you're going to be experiencing the exact same thing. So you're screwed either way.
They're banking on having content on the console, on Game Pass. That's what they're banking on. They're banking on content.
And this is what you're going to get by supporting something, paying. Oh yeah, I'm getting a great discount, but in exchange, we're going to give you incomplete games. No thanks. That's not what I want.
Rodolphe
How,
says all I hear you cry about is bugs. He's on that. He's on you.
oh, I didn't mention anything about bugs. I think that's you.
I mean, the game like, but I don't cry about bugs. That's why I think he's talking about you.
But what type of bug am I talking about?
Talking about the
All,
bugs
all,
in
all,
the game.
all I've been trying to say, all I've my main issue, it was obviously now my main issue is this also, but my issue is you cannot have you cannot have a game where they force you to be online only, because remember, it's they're doing this by force. They're doing it by force and not allowing you to even have the choice to be online or offline, especially when you're in situations where you cannot play online. Your game is obsolete. You shouldn't under any circumstance, you should it should never, any developer should never ever put you in a position to where you are unable to access your games. That should never happen. That's a step backwards, not forwards. How is it that just about every game in the past that I have played, I could play them either online or offline, and that's how the standard should be, even in future generations. Even if Wi-Fi or the internet becomes, a 100% complete standard, again, there's going to be situations where you're not able to play online, or you just don't. Whether it's a power outage, whatever it's that you're moving, whatever it's that you're traveling, whatever it is. If I have the if I have the capability to play the game, offline, I'm good to go. I'm good to go. But if I'm paying $70 for a game and I can't even have access to that game offline, no, I'm never accepting that. I'm never going to accept that. And for people like Riddler, Rudolphi, saying that, oh, that's no problem, that's no problem, that's very disingenuous on his part. It is. There's absolutely no way that you should pay full price for a product and you don't even have 100% access to that game that you paid for. That's a bunch of bull, and you know it.
Okay, so he said that at this point bugs happen regardless. That's why internet is necessary for updates. His his point his points is based on extremes. Why your internet trash? He
How are those extremes when that stuff happens every day? How are those things? How are those things is extreme when life happens, and it happens normally to nearly just about everybody?
and we're also plus we're talking about
You skipped a
someone
whole
who
bunch. You
never.
skipped a whole bunch of.
I will
You,
get to all of that. Like your contention is with Rudolphi, and he said that. Plus, we're talking about someone who never plays online.
yeah, and I'm pretty
He
sure there's plenty of people who don't focus on playing online either. There's a lot of people who enjoys playing single player content. You're screwing those people over, and yet
David
and
said
yet
that
and yet and yet you see, this is the thing that Rudolphi does. This is why a lot of times these debates doesn't really go anywhere. He still have yet to answer the question: what is the benefit of always staying online and not having the capability to stay offline? What's the benefit?
he I think he said that the reason why the game is online all the time is for the game to get updates. That is true.
But you could do that now, whether if the game is online or offline. When you have the choice, you can still do that now. You don't have to be online only 100% of the time in order for you to do that. Whenever there's a time, especially back in the day when I had my PS2 or when I had my 360, I had the capability to play offline. And if I went online, I would get a notification from my console saying that there's an update that needs to be made. You don't have to constantly be online as to use as a trade-off. Oh, this is the reason why that you have to be online only when we were doing that already 2 3 generations ago. Don't give me that garbage. Go ahead, movie.
All right, so let me read some comments from David because I think he hit it right in the head. Bro, they can't track everything you do if you're offline. That's what they do. They do part of what they do is tracking what you do online. What you're playing is easier to do that online than offline.
I get it. I get it. So, like I said before, it's based on control. It's based on control. I said this years ago. It's based on control. Not about having a much better gaming experience. Oh, not about we're trying to help you out because for updates like Riddler said. No, it's so it's used as a tracking device to keep an eye on you. It's based on control. It has nothing about enhancing the gaming experience. Get the hell out of
Well,
here. All they're doing,
they
all they want to do is try to control you. That's all they're trying to do.
they have to know certain things going on within the game in order for them to fix it. So let's say there's a weapon that's overpowered. Um, I'll read that in a second. Like they have to know if there's a weapon that is that's overpowered. It's easier if it's on always online to see it, test it out, and then fix it. And you can do that with updates. You do that. I don't think I like they can see what people are playing or not playing and stuff like that. It to me, for them, you're all right. It is about control, but at the end of the day, like to me, my biggest issue with it is that when let's say if you're offline, let's say if your internet's not working, right? Let's say you get like a random blackout of internet, then you can't play that game at all. Even if it has single player content, you can't play it at all. And to me, that's the biggest problem. If I can't go
That's it.
online and play people online because my internet's acting dumb, that's one thing. That's one thing. But if I can't play a story mode of God of War because I'm not online, that would piss me off. That pisses me off. Now, you know, obviously when it comes to God of War, that's not a thing. There definitely been games that I played in the past where I couldn't play it because I wasn't online, and that's frustrating.
Well, yeah, I mean, and I love that example because I pretty much use the exact same thing. When can you imagine? Can you imagine if Nintendo ever said, "Oh, we have Mario here for you," but no, you can only play Mario online. Like, seriously? If Konami ever makes another Metal Gear game and they have online mode, but yet when I want to play single player mode, trying to beat the story only, I have to be online to beat story mode. No. I'm not accepting that. And any game that has online only, because I don't know if you noticed, all games where it's online only, I don't support those games. I'm not interested. I'm not interested in those games because I want to have control over my games because I bought them. I want to have full control and full access to my games or anything I own for that matter. But if you have the final say, then I'm not going to buy your stuff. Simple as that. I'm not going to buy your stuff. And Jaban is going to say, "Oh, sit your conspiracy mega ass down." How is it a conspiracy when someone else in this chat already said they want to watch what you're doing? So if it's not control, you tell me what it is. Since you're the expert, You tell me what it is, Jabanis. Oh, it's a conspiracy. How is it a conspiracy? There's a reason why they want you to be online only.
I get that comment star, by the way. David said, yeah, they sell your data for money. Oh yeah, every company does that now. And big AAA trying to control everything. That's true. I mean, I don't. I think he's being sarcastic, but that is true though. Fair. I think he's referring to my comment. And then Joe said that you would think Xbox would learn from the past with always online. Example: Xbox Connect, and then moderation. Yeah, I mean that's what Game Pass is. Like obviously you can't access Game Pass without online connection. Like it pretty much is everything that they wanted to do with the Xbox One, but put it in a spin to where it's more consumer friendly. At least from the naked eye, it's more consumer friendly. So, and they got a lot of people, but I'm telling you, I think you're concentrating on the online stuff. The thing that I'm concentrating on is the fact that this game could very well not be good.
Well, it's pretty much the cyber. This oh man, my brother's going crazy right now. Freaking Philadelphia scored. Uh, it's pretty much the
At least
cyberpunk, the cyberpunk cycle all over again, where you pretty much giving us a game that's incomplete and that's not finished. To me, I really don't understand these companies anymore. I understand that there's deadline that needs to be met, but you're not going to be getting any type of money anyway if all you're going to be doing is just giving us incomplete games or giving us games that can't even function properly. How does that um how does that make you look good for a company in general if all you're going to do is just give us unfinished games and games that I don't even have access to? So with the combination of that, who in the world is going to be stupid enough to buy your games from in the near future? I
but
mean, I don't get it.
I don't think the always online is what's gonna keep them from not playing the game. What it's gonna be, what's gonna keep them from not playing the game is that horse shit that we just played, that awful gameplay we just showed.
But didn't you say something about that you think the standard should be 60 frames per second?
Yeah, for games that are coming out exclusively on that console, absolutely 60 FPS should be the standard. You're
But
gonna tout this.
are you?
Go ahead.
No, you can finish. You can finish.
If you're gonna tout this console as the strongest console in the world and do all this bragging about how many frames you can do and all the other crap, it needs to be 60. It needs to be 60. You know what I mean? Like it's a world most powerful console, which is what the company has said and what the fanboys have parroted. And this fucking thing can't go 60. I mean, look at the game. Do you think the game looks visually impressive?
Absolutely
Not to
not.
me. So it should be 60. No questions asked. And
Well,
the
I'm
fact is
good.
that I'm supposed to believe that they couldn't delay the game to the point where they can add a 60 FPS mode. Come on, man. I don't buy that. The reason why they released it now is because they had the safety blanket of Game Pass. It's a safety blanket. Yeah, you're not paying $70 for this game, so like give us some time to get it completed. All right, so we're down to the wire here.
Oh, nice shot from James Harden.
You're ahead of me.
Oh my gosh, that was nice. Oh man, this is the James Harden that I want. Oh my gosh, that was beautiful. That was beautiful. But are you able to tell the difference between 30 and 60?
Yes.
Like me, I
The
have a
game
hard time. Go
the
ahead.
game that that in the game that changed that did that for me was Fortnite. Fortnite when Fortnite first came out, I actually played the game, and when I played it originally, it was 30, and then once they turned it to 60, oh my, it was like playing a new game. It was like playing a new game because the visuals were sharper, the gameplay was faster. It just felt like a better game.
Well, I do notice in some games that when this runs in 60, like it just looks so much. It runs so much smoother. It's not jagged. It's less laggy, and yeah, it is sharper. Visuals. But from what I've heard, from what people say, now correct me if I'm wrong, and anyone on this chat, correct me if I'm wrong also. But from what I heard, what people say, you could still have almost the exact same experience regardless of which frames that you play.
Uh,
Like it doesn't really enhance, the gameplay, so to speak, if you change it to 60 or if you change it to back to 30, you could still have the same experience. The only thing that's really pretty much different is just the visuals and the visuals only.
nah, I
Oh,
don't
you
like that.
disagree with that? Okay. Okay, you
I
disagree with
don't
that.
like.
Okay.
So right
Okay.
now, so what do they call?
Mine's on mute, so because I didn't want it to be, I don't want people to be
Foul.
able to hear it.
Yeah, they call it foul. And
Yeah. Oh,
so he
wow.
made one.
He makes this one free throw, and then
They,
I think they win.
yeah, the game's over because Boston has no timeouts.
Oh my
If he makes
gosh.
this,
Yeah, if he makes this,
game's over.
boom, the game's over.
Yeah, game's over. And
I cannot
mm,
believe Philadelphia won without Embiid. I cannot
mm,
believe Philadelphia won without Embiid. James Harden.
yeah,
Big props for freaking Harden, man. Big props to him. Wow. Wow. Everybody's stunned. Everyone's in shock. Oh yeah, I mean, yeah.
bro,
Was that?
Boston 2 days in a row. Boston gets gets stunned.
Wow.
Oh man, that's funny. All right, let me read some comments. So bots not a thing to track. Cheating is not a thing to track. He's right there. He's right.
Oh no 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 no. You see, sometimes Riddler do like to play dumb sometimes. Riddler, what does any of that have to do with me playing by myself offline? If I'm playing offline, how am I cheating against online players? How am I cheating? How am I having an unfair advantage if I'm playing by myself? Yeah, answer that question. I guarantee you he won't have an answer. I guarantee he won't have an answer. There is no cheating involved when you play by yourself. There isn't any. There's no bots or anything like that you're trying to talk about. None of that happens when you are playing offline.
Um, you want to play at least 60, and he said that tracking is the topic. Tracking is the topic. To me, the topic is the game looking like dog shit. That's the topic. I see.
I mean, I hear what you're saying. The game looking like trash, but I really do want to see how the game would look like when you compare it to 30 and to 60. Like, I really want to see the comparison between the two when it comes to
Yeah,
Redfall.
you have to play. It's a different
Yeah,
feeling playing at 30 than 60.
yeah. Well, okay, but
Here,
so what's your overall thing? Overall point when it comes to this?
Honestly, when it comes to Redfall, I mean, it don't look good. It doesn't look good. And to me, this is the fear that a lot of people have with Game Pass. That you're going to release a game, give you guys the out to release a game that's not complete. It just when you give develop and the thing that we've seen from generation and generation that when you give developers or more importantly when you give publishers a a safety net, they're going to take it because at the end of the day, all they care about is money. All they care about is money. So when you give these companies a safety net, they're going to take it. Because back in the day, it was a requirement to at least finish your game. At least it was a requirement. No, you don't really have to because now you could be like, oh, day one patch and all that other stuff, and that's not what it was really originally meant for. It was meant to either add to a game or to fix any bugs that happened in the game. Because games used to come out and it would be a bug that was like a permanent bug in the game that they couldn't get out unless they released like a remake or whatever. And Dolphy said that I think executives push deadlines hard. Absolutely they do. Absolutely they do. And the guy who was responsible for that is Phil Spencer.
Well, the
Why?
thing is,
Because
oh, go ahead, my bad.
they were talking. When they had their big showcase last year, they touted that every game that we are going to show you is going to come out between now and the summer of next year. That's what they did. So they already put a hard deadline on Redfall. Now they did give it a delay, but clearly the delay didn't help. Clearly it didn't help
Yeah,
based on the videos that I see.
yeah.
And this is what it could. Yeah. No, go.
No, no. Like I was gonna say, yeah, I fully agree with you that all these delays, didn't help. And the thing is about when Riddler said executive, push, deadlines hard. I mean, I don't know the whole business side of it. Like, I don't know how the whole structure works, and when it pertains to the deadlines or how much money you're able to make, or does it dictate how much money you make if you don't reach your deadline? I don't know how that stuff works. I should probably look up more into it and do some homework on it. I don't know how that stuff works, but clearly, what's going on with your microphone? Yo, who is it?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yeah, your microphone was like going crazy.
Yeah,
Um,
my bad.
my thing the thing is, if they have to push so hard on all these deadlines, they should have freaking the foresight to figure out that that strategy doesn't work anymore if the game is incomplete. They should have already seen this. They should already seen this coming because look at all the games in the past that was rushed and that came to be incomplete, and then people got pissed off about it. Cyberpunk is the primary example. You know what I'm saying? Cyberpunk was like the hype, for that game. All people cared about was I can't wait to play this game. I'm looking forward to play this game, and look what happened. I mean, you're not going to make any money that you're projecting if your game's not finished. So it's a lose lose situation at the end of the day. You'll be better off of making delays when your game is complete, so that way you have the consumer trusting your company, trusting the developers, trusting the executives with these games. Because
You can't
otherwise,
you
all
can't
people what happened?
you can't trust executives. I'm just saying you can't trust executives.
I guess.
All right, so hardware, software of days past is not as concrete anymore. Computation is more complex. I'd rather vouch for an active dev team, if anything. And I can't stress this enough. Arcane Studios is a very good studio, very good. And for them to release that game in that state is unbecoming of them.
Hmm.
But when you have a deadline and when you have a subscription service like Game Pass, that's what's going to happen. That is what's going to happen. And it's why I don't want Sony doing the same thing with Game Pass. And I have Game Pass. I like Game Pass. But I don't want Sony doing that because I don't want their games quality being I don't want them having the excuse to have their quality of their games deteriorating.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I mean, is that it, or you got anything else to say before we leave?
Um, the only other thing that I want to say real quick before we head out, it has nothing to do with Redfall. I'm pretty much done. With Redfall. I'm not gonna be playing the game. I don't want to give it a try. Because like I said before, any game that's on console that's online only, I'm not buying. I'm not buying because, like I said, I want to have full control of my games, and I should have the right. I should have the say if I should be online or not. Not you. Not you. I should have the right because I paid for it. I own it. I should do what I want. But if you want to have control, okay, you could have your control. I'm just not going to buy it. Now, with all that being said, I want to share this before we head out from this podcast. Where are you at? Okay. So let me share this real quick. I think even you would appreciate this. Hold on. Where is it? Where is it? Where are you at? Okay, let me share you real quick.
Ruben said that online only sounds like first world problems.
Okay, so as we all know, this is May 1st. Wait, are we May 1st or May 2nd? May 1st, right?
Yeah.
We're May 1st. June is right around the corner. Well, I should say right around the corner. It's next month. And we all know what happens next month. Next month, we will be having Street Fighter 6. That's the game that I'm going to be looking forward to. But there's one more game that's on this list that I am also looking forward to. I'm also looking forward to Final Fantasy 16. And you know what? Let me also add Crash, Team Rumble on there also. Let me add that because I'm a huge Crash fan, and obviously with Sonic coming at the end of the month, so there's going to be quite a few games that I'm going to be buying as far as June is concerned. But obviously, my first priority is going to be Street Fighter 6. So before the podcast is over, I just wanted to at least leave some type of good news that Street Fighter 6 is coming, man. Street Fighter 6 is coming, and then I'm telling you right now, when it comes, my gosh, I will be extremely happy. And speaking of this list, is there anything on this list that you're interested in besides Street Fighter 6? I'm just curious.
No.
No? Then what about in May? What about this month? Anything?
Let's see. No.
So much for you wanting to try something new. I'm having now.
I never said anything about trying something new. I ain't never said nothing about that. I want to play games that I know are gonna be good.
So all of those games, with the exception of Street Fighter 6, are going to be bad games.
I never said that. I'm just saying that I know Street Fighter 6 is gonna be a good game. So
Okay. Okay. Well, all that said, I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait for Street Fighter 6. I can't wait for Final Fantasy. Huge Sonic fan, huge Crash fan. So I'm going to be getting 4 games next month. So I better start saving now. And I am definitely looking forward for the month of June because also June is going to be the day where we'll be going to CEO. At least me and my brother is. You, I know you're not going to go,
No,
but
I can't go.
but yeah. So I'm definitely next month is going to be a very fantastic month. I will keep you all posted. I am going to record videos, post them on Twitter. Definitely looking forward to it. Will be having a vacation, so I'm definitely looking forward to it. So do your roll call, and we'll be done.
All right. So Ruben, thank you for watching. Rudolphi, thank you for watching. Critical Drop, thank you for watching. Jill, thank you for watching. David, thank you for watching. Let me see. F, thank you for watching. And I think that's it. Yeah. So yeah, like I said, Thursday we're gonna be doing the Mario Brothers spoiler cast, and then come watch us next
No,
next.
no, 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 no. You only told them partial. We will be talking about the Mario. Yeah, obviously you're going to be talking Mario spoiler, the movie. We're also going to be talking about how I'm going to do. I can't wait to destroy Hoovy, as we are going to also talk about game preservation. We're also going to be talking about that, and I think there's one more topic that we're going to talk about as well. But I'm definitely looking forward to that. Hoovy said he's going to destroy me regarding that topic, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm definitely looking forward to it. I think it's going to be nice. Our buddy Dark, BHCX Dark, I think that's how you say it. Seafring, aka Seafring, he's going to be joining us also on Thursday. He finally saw the movie. He enjoyed it. And yeah, it's going to be a very good show this Thursday. So please, everyone, that's here right now, come and watch. Please bring us your input. It's going to be a very, very, very good show.
All right. So Nolan, thank you for joining us.
Nolan, you're late, man. We're leaving now, and you're late, bro. Man, you've been late in the podcast lately. What's going on, brother?
all right, guys, have a good night.
Yeah. So anyway, guys, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't. Give us a quick like, share on Twitter, on Facebook, or IG, wherever it is that you want, and we will continue to make more. So this is the Traditionalist 101 signing out. And have a good one.
All right, bye bye, you guys.